Welcome to our lesson on Are You Enough and really exploring self worth. All right, so let's get started. So, for this lesson, here's a few key takeaways that I want you to think about as you work through the exercise for this lesson. The first one is self worth isn't a value, but it can be absolute. So, certainly, why, when we created the definition of self worth, did we pick the word worth? I don't know, right? Because in the English language, worth denotes an attachment to something outside of yourself, right? So, was it worth it, right? So, was that experience worth it? Yes or no, it's outside of you, um, right? How much is something worth denotes a monetary type of value, right? So, when people say, but I know my worth or something like that, right? I want you just to be careful of that statement, right? Because typically when we say that statement, we say it from a place of defense or hurt or pain, right? We're saying it because either you didn't get something you wanted or someone offered something that wasn't what you wanted it to be, right? And so you're attaching your self worth as a human being, as a person, to something outside of you, whether that be money or an experience or whatever it is that's outside of you. When in fact, you as a person is completely different than whether or not something is worth it monetarily, right? So I want you to know that you as a human being are enough. You are always enough. You were born into this world enough, right? And I just want you to sit with that. And when you feel like you're not enough, I want you to ask yourself why. Because that's what's standing in the way of you feeling like enough. So if we think about worthiness or enoughness as being something that is absolute, I want you to think about it like a math equation. You were born into this world enough, whole, complete, just as you were as a human being. But then something happened and it created a five-letter S word that we don't like to talk about, right? And so, because of that five-letter S word, we don't deal with the things that we need to deal with that's taking away from the beginning of the formula, right? The beginning of the formula was I am whole, I am complete, I am enough. Then something subtracted from it, right? What was it? It's the five little S word. The five little S word is shame. We don't really like to talk about shame, but Brene Brown does a really good job of kind of describing this. Now, we have this shame because that's what society has taught us. Society has said that there's a right or wrong way, that women need to look a certain way, women need to act a certain way. We need to get through our lives and do a certain things, right? We need to go to high school, get good grades, go off to college, graduate, get married, have kids. We need to do all these things. And if we miss any one of these steps or we do them out of order, then society or the world has said that you have done something wrong, which creates shame, right? And just so that we are clear, shame is saying to yourself, I am bad, right? I am not enough. I did something, right, that just makes me less than because I did that thing. And I want you to know that that programming, that teaching, none of it is true, right? So for some of you, another example would be you went up for a promotion and you didn't get it. And it makes you feel like you're not enough and that you're never going to get it. And I just want you to think again about why that is. Why is it that you think that that is an absolute thing? Because it's not. You didn't get that one job, but the opportunities are infinite. You just can't see them because you're stuck in that one thing and you're carrying some hurt, some pain, some shame around something that most likely happened in your past. So maybe it was that your parents told you that you were never going to amount to anything, right? Or you were never good enough for them, no matter what you did. So when you don't get the promotion the first time or even the second time, you make that mean that they were right. And you almost accept it a little bit because you believe it about yourself. And I want you to know that as an adult, especially as an adult, you have the ability to reprogram your brain and your beliefs. This is likely the first time in your life where you get to believe whatever it is you want to believe for you and on purpose. So, what I want you to do is to really think about where you are not feeling whole and complete. I want you to go there. I want you to hold space and love and compassion for yourself. And I want you to go through the process of forgiving yourself for whatever it is, whether it's past or present. And then I want you to also, as you work through this journal and these exercises, to think about your life without limits. There has never been a better time to be a woman, to have a career, to have and go about it, however it is that you want to go about it. So, with that, I want you to complete the Are You Worthy journal. This journal will help prompt you to think about what those things are. Where are those triggers? Where are those things that bring shame to you? And I want you to be honest about yourself. No one else is going to see this. So there's no reason to not be honest with yourself about where it is or why it is that you think that you are possibly not enough. Right. And so as you work through these prompts, if you need support, reach out to me. I'm here to offer support. I'm here to help get you unstuck if you find yourself in a loop or in a cycle. Right. I want to help you work through that. This piece is very important because when you feel whole and complete, it just leads right into you feeling more confidence, which is in the next module, right? So please take the time to do the exercise. If you get stuck, reach out for love and support. We are here to help. I'll see you in the next lesson.